You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. You're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. That's the definition of a good-looking person. Looking for and finding the good. You have found good in abundance because you consciously and conscientiously tuned into the Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore. And you tuned in for one reason and one reason only. It's the best reason in the whole world, because you care the most, the entire world, about you, Y-O-U. And that's great, by the way, because when you become the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony, create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. And you know that on this show, we work with the three fundamentals of life. And these three fundamentals, when you use them, will enable you to be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Who doesn't want that? Three fundamentals are: number one, life. Your life has purpose. And when you lead a purpose-driven life, number two happens. In this case, good number two. You go mad. MAD stands for make a difference. Lead a purpose-driven life and make a difference in the world. And the third fundamental is to uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. Simple example, smile. Everybody likes to smile. Smile stands for seeing miracles in life every day. That's right, seeing miracles in life every day. Recently, I spoke at a group where there was 1,176 people. I'm talking about my journey and smile, seeing miracles. And some people inevitably raise their hands and say, hey, Barry Shore, I've been up for hours where I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can barely do that. Do you have water to drink, food, family, place to sleep? Those are all miracles. And what's the proof? Simple as proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you are watching or listening, you didn't. If we have an obligation to live life to the full, to live life exuberantly. So I'll tell you a quick story. It's about me. Imagine, if you can, standing up in the morning, hale and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, and that evening being in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed. And it was not from an automobile accident, not a spinal injury. It was a rare disease which I never heard of the day before. It took over my body and rendered me a quadriplegic. I was completely paralyzed from the neck down. I could only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. I was 2 years in a hospital bed, completely paralyzed. I was in a wheelchair for 4 years. I had braces on both my legs, my hips to my ankles, and that was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand. So I'm a triped, not a biped. I still can't walk up a stair by myself. I can't walk up a curb by myself. And I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, all because of one word. Smile. Seeing miracles in life every day. I got to tell you quickly, my 8-year-old niece comes over to me a few weeks ago and she says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile? S-M-I-E-L. I thought about smile sounds the same. Why not? I asked her, how come? She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. Out of the mouth of babe. So what was she doing? She was creating the world that she wants to live in. Now, CREATE is a wonderful acronym. It stands for causing, rethinking, enabling all to excel. It's rethinking. It's called a shift in perspective. Now, I got to tell you, in the 4+ decades of working with over 1 million people, 97.2% of the people drop the F and shift, and the other stuff happens. You're going to be effing careful with your Fs. Shift in perspective. And it's encapsulated in 6 words that you need to internalize, utilize, and leverage in your life for your benefit. And these 6 words are: choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will determine where you're going and the trajectory. Now, I got to tell you, before we bring on our amazing, wonderful guest, I call her Double M, Michelle Mras, Dr. Michelle Mras. Uh, I have to warn everybody in advance that I do use a lot of four-letter words, and I even use the four-letter FU word because it's fun and the shock value. Now, of course, the four-letter words that we use because we live in the world of positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant are love, life, hope, free, gift, play, pray, swim, food. And the four-letter FU word is fun. Fun, yes. F-U, capital N, capital N. Now, some people raise their hand and say, hey, Barry Shore, fun's only spelled with three letters. Not in our world. World of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, spelled F-U, capital N, capital N. So after the show, when you see your family and friends, and you point your finger, have a smile on your face, twinkle in your eye, say, F-U, everybody. But remember to add right away, capital N, capital N. Say, where'd you get that? Say, I listened to The Joy of Living with Barry Shore. He wants to teach the world to F-U. So before we bring on wonderful Michelle, I would urge everybody to do the following. For your benefit, use the two most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day, every single day for now the rest of your life. Because when you do this, you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. And these two words are thank you, thank you, thank you, consciously and conscientiously. Thanks stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. The Dalai Lama has been quoted saying, I read in his writing, be kind whenever possible. And he says it's always possible. So imagine you walk into your coffee shop, you order your fancy latte, you sit down, someone brings it to you. You say, thank you. Imagine you go to the coffee shop, you order a fancy latte, a few minutes go by, nobody brings you, go to the counter and say, I'm sorry, we forgot. We'll bring it. And they sit down, another couple of minutes go by, they bring you still say, thank you. You're walking out of the coffee shop, it's raining out. Somebody holds the door open for you. You say, thank you. You're walking out of the coffee shop, it's raining out. Somebody slams the door on you. You say, thank you. You're in traffic, you're late for an appointment. Somebody cuts you off. You say, thank you. You get up in the middle of the night and you stub your toe and it hurts. You say, thank you. To harmonize and nurture kindness. KIND is a fabulous acronym that stands for Keep Inspiring Noble Deeds. I can't think of anybody that inspires noble deeds I want to share with you more than wonderful, fabulous Michelle Mras. Dr. Michelle, please say hello to 368,927 people around the world. I can't hear you.
I said, hello, I love dog poop.
Well, now say it with a little bit of feeling. Hello.
Hello, I love dog poop.
Yeah, that's who she is. She loves dog poop. We'll talk about that also. What a delight and a pleasure to be with this bountiful being who I just saw recently physically, so it's even better. But I want to dive right in because if I started telling you all the wonderful things about Michelle and her CV and such, it would take the rest of the show. But suffice it to say that she is an award-winning, internationally recognized inspirational speaker, published #1 best-selling author, intuitive leader, wife, mother, and a friend. And I want to talk about a subject that you are not only schooled in, but a master of. And it's something that people want and need right now. Let's deal with the R word. It's called resilience. So wonderful, Dr. Fabulous Michelle Mras, please talk to us about real resilience, what you see it as, and how people can actually gain it.
Well, I see resilience as the ability to get back up. But the magic of it is everyone's looking for it. And what it is, it's we already have it. It's been built into us. I mean, that's why we even learned to walk in the first place. We started crawling, we pull up on a few things, we fall down. So I call it embrace your toddler mindset because we are put on this planet. God put us here. We come out of our mothers screaming. I mean, someone slapped us on a butt. I mean, just everything about it is resilience. And then as we learn to crawl, we're hitting our face. We keep pulling up. When we start to walk, we pull up and we pull things on top of ourselves. Resiliency is built in our DNA. So it's
Wait a
not
minute. I
looking
want to
for it.
unpack something
It's
here.
coming back.
Yeah, this is so fabulous because you said the magic words. You already have it. What? No, wait a minute. But don't you know, blah, 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 blah. And you're saying, hello, you have it. It's built in. So let's go now a little deeper because you gave us some great ideas and visuals about baby and crawling and moving and that. Let's talk about adults who have been punched, kicked, hit in the stomach, and all kinds of things happening. And they think, imagine this, we don't, but some people even think that they don't have it. Let's deal with the adults who are misunderstanding their own being.
Well, and that's why I say embrace your toddler mindset, because you and I have both experienced the inability to move. And we both experienced that in our older ages. So we were adults when we realized we can get back up. We just have to find our own and special way. And adults love, actually, it starts in our teens where we start looking at other people for how are they doing it? Oh, if they can't do it, then I can't do it. Resiliency is not looking for other people to tell us how to do it. Resiliency is, okay, someone else did it. Great. Then I know I can do it. No one else has done it. Great. I'll figure out my own way. That's what you did. That's what I did. Right?
Right. And yes. And let's hear some more about your story that enables you to speak as an authority about this, not only because you've been through it, but because now you exude it.
Well, in 2014, I ran political campaigns. I thought the world was my oyster. I was doing everything, taking care of everybody. Well, in 2014, I went to go pick up my kids from school, and a car ran a stop sign and it hit my car. Engine fell out, missed me by that much. And I thought I was fine. But 12 days later, I stopped walking and I stopped talking. And for the next 2 years, 3 months, my family took care of me. And only thing that really moved on me was my eyes. They thought I wasn't coherent, but I was. I understood everything they were saying. I just couldn't move and I couldn't do anything but my eyes. And so what I did while I was locked in my head is I looked back at my life and how small I played and how often I was like, "Oh, I can't do that. What if someone sees me? Oh, what they're going to say?" I always had this fear of living. And so when I got hit by that car and lost my ability to move and talk, I had a lot of inner thought time. You know that, right? You get lost in your head. You're like, why am I here? Why did this happen? What did I do? What did I not do? How did I not live? And so in those 2 years, 3 months, I reevaluated everything I ever played or did not play. And that's why I live so exuberantly now is I begged God to let me out. Get me out of this, and I promise I will walk through any door. I'll do whatever you want. Just let me walk again. Take my body. I don't care. Just give me back my brain. And that day, the day I wanted to kill myself because I was so miserable being trapped in my body, I heard, "You're not dead yet. Get up." And then I found myself 6 feet from a chair I know I cannot walk from. And I had my hands up in the air, and I made a vow to do everything I can to get back into the world, and I would play big, and I would find my purpose, and I would keep moving until I found what my purpose was, and that's how you met me.
Woo! Let's talk about play big. Big is a great acronym that I call believe in giving.
Yes,
Believe in giving. And from my humble perspective, playing big means to be the ultimate giver, and that playing small is shriveling, is mostly a taker. Small people tend to be takers. People who play on a big stage, who are out there, who are manifesting what it means to live the dream, play big because they're givers. You are what we call a cog, a channel of goodness, a child of God. And that enables you to play on a big stage. Let's talk about your big stage, by the way, because you went from a trapped body that happened in a moment, automobile crash. And remember, choice, not chance. How you respond in any given situation. So you went through all those processes for 2 years and 3 months of angst and anger and emotional drain, and then recognizing at some point you can't, and that you begged the good Lord and it was received. So wait a minute, when you got up and walked 6 feet from the chair that you couldn't walk from, Tell me how you were feeling at that moment, if you can recall.
Well, that's the crazy thing about it is I don't recall it. I just remember that moment where I came to realization that I had moved and my hands were up in the air. But from that point, I didn't just start walking immediately. I moved my finger. That was my big thing. I was able to move my finger after a long period of time. And I remember every day I was looking at my hand. My hand would be, it was always sitting on the chair because I couldn't move it. And I would force one finger to bend and then force another finger to bend. And I remember thinking, finger move, finger move, finger move. And although I sound like I started walking, I went to therapy. I had to go to all these. What they found was I have a traumatic brain injury. I'm missing my frontal lobe over my left ear, the back of my head, and my two hemispheres had disconnected, which is why I couldn't walk or talk. My brain wasn't talking to itself. So I went through a lot of therapy to regain everything to come back to who I am today. And the next part of that session is, I've been going through therapy. At 8 months in is when they told me, by the way, you have breast cancer, and we're expecting you to die in about 3 months. So
By the way.
yeah, by the way, you have cancer. And so I was already on this path of trying to find this body, this human, and moving. And then they give me this cancer diagnosis. And what the doctors were telling me is most people would have just shut down. But I figured if I was given the ability to walk again and talk again, this cancer thing is a gift of something else. What is it? And so instead of looking for someone else to tell me, I went internal and went, okay, I'm going to keep moving until I figure out what this gift is. And the gift for me was my brain is important. My body was important if I want my brain to move. But spiritually, I needed to reconnect. I learned that there was three things that were part of me, and I needed to not just focus on one, focus on all.
I'm deeply touched by you anyway, as you know, and I know the story, but still, when I hear it again and again and again, it's moving. And I want to share with you the acronym that I use for GIFT, because I look upon my situation as a gift as well. GIFT stands for Godly Inspiration Facilitating Transformation. Godly inspiration facilitating transformation, because you transformed a delightful, pleasant, married mother into a delightful, wonderful, married mother who matters because you're touching millions of people. You're touching millions of people around the world. There is a primary channel that you're touching people on, and that is in this wondrous country called the Philippines, where people are, for the most part, very happy and seekers in the sense that they believe that God exists because they're raised in a Christian atmosphere, thankfully. But still, lots of struggles because, let's be blunt, life in the Philippines is not as opportunistic in the sense of great opportunity as life in the United States. But thank God there are still opportunities because it's spiritual and emotional more than the physical environment. So let's just continue with our resiliency issue, the R word from now, because I want to hear what happened with the breast cancer in the sense that you get the diagnosis. At this point, you are capable of responding in a, well, I'll call positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant way. You didn't just say, gee, thanks, doctors, I have breast cancer. That's an idiot. What you did is you understood there must be meaning. And when there's meaning, resiliency kicks in because that's, like you say, that's our gift from God. We have it. So let me hear about that journey, because then I want to go to the issue of your books and who you are and what it means to be unapologetic.
Okay, well, with that breast cancer diagnosis, I mean, people forget that we have examples around us all the time, right? And so I'm at the ripe age of 50 something, and I had seen many people go through different life challenges. And I remember thinking, if that happened to me, how would I react? We always have to ask those kind of questions. So when they gave me that breast cancer diagnosis, I didn't sit and wonder and question and go through a lot of traumatic thoughts. I went, I've seen this before. I know this person, this person, this person. How did they react? What did they do? And I went, cut the breast off. And the doctor said, you need to go home and think about this. And I said, no, I don't. What are my chances of living if I let it stay? And she's like, you're not. And I said, well, then that's a pretty quick one. I mean, I've got grown children, cut them off. I don't need them. They're bags of flesh. Let's go. And I put myself on the calendar for surgery. And she's like, we're not even sure what kind of cancer it is. I said, does it matter what cancer it is? And she said, no, really, it doesn't. But yours is fast acting. I do. Then let's get it. Let's do it. So I put myself on the calendar. We had me scheduled and I worked all my tests around that one day so that I could at least fight for my life instead of wait.
Okay. I'm rarely speechless. I was almost going to be, but I need to inject something here.
Okay.
The essence of a winner. How do you define a winner? The person who got the last point in the basketball game or caught the touchdown or this. The definition of a winner is someone who takes action.
Mhm.
Everybody hear this? Taking action. Michelle understood her situation, asked questions, got the answers, and said, well, let's do this. Well, what about it? What about this? We have to think. Action is the key to being successful and being a winner. And that's one of the reasons why people, and myself especially, applaud when you come on and you speak in the stage, because you're not speaking from the stage. We used to call it the sage from the stage. You're right there with people because it's so real. It's so there. And what happens is the energy flows so powerfully in and around and through people that they're up out of their chairs. They're uplifted. And I want to use this to talk about the book Unapologetic and and who you are and what you do with this unapologetic tour, we'll call it. You know, the Rolling Stones have a tour. Well, Michelle has a tour, and it's called Unapologetic. First of all, why should anybody ever apologize for being success-filled, wonder-filled, active, capable, positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant? Hello? Apologize? Unapologetic. Let me hear more. Not me. Everybody.
Well, I came up with that word unapologetic because someone asked me, how do you live your life? And I said, honestly, unapologetic. And they said, so you don't apologize? I said, no, everything I do is purposeful. So if I do something that offends someone, I don't apologize because it's what I did. So I did it in the best meaning and with my best heart and out of love. If I offend you, it's not because I meant to. So no, I'm not apologetic for it because I'm doing it from love. And so that's how I wanted to share my message is I played small most of my life because I was afraid of hurting people's feelings or what if I said something? What if? I played a lot of what if games. And once I got another chance at living, I went, I'm not apologizing anymore. Either you like me, you don't. I'm going to move quick. So if you don't like that, just move out of the way. Yeah, I will not hurt you, but I will move quickly because life's too short. We have to play in the games we're supposed to play. We're supposed to show up as we are. And no one's promised tomorrow. So live today like it's your last. Be kind to everyone. Love people. Do everything like you'll never see them again because we never know. And so when I meet people, they're like, you're so vibrant. You're so happy. I said, because I don't want your last thought of me to be thinking, boy, that woman was really a pain in the butt. No, I never want that ever to be said. And I never want that to happen to anyone else. So that's that whole positive attitude. People like, you are not real. You are too happy all the time. You have to be sad. I am sad. I'm human. But I flip from that very quickly because life just breathing. I'm happy to just open my eyes. Not everyone gets that gift of opening their eyes again. So every time I take a breath, every time I wake up, I do thank you, thank you, thank you. I made it another day, which is why I'm so happy because no one's promised tomorrow. So live.
She is wonderful. That's why I asked her, and she's here and she's sharing. This is, and it's all true. That the best part of it is it has to be true because that's the essence of living openly, honestly, in the now. To that point, by the way, of what ifs, I love that. Uh, if you, we all know what a chiropractor is, right? Physically, you're sort of out of sorts. You go to somebody, and that person, he or she goes on your neck, and you're aligned. Now, what we, Michelle and I, urge people to is become your own spiritual chiropractor. What does that mean? That means that you want to align your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. Thoughts good, words are good, and deeds are good. When you're in alignment with good, 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 guess what happens? Unapologetic. Because everything you're doing is purposeful, as you said, purposeful for positive, pleasant, powerful. And you're right, moving fast, okay, that's what it is, because we're here. There is no one promised tomorrow. I love that. Now, that's, by the way, we call this the joy of living, not the joy of living, the joy of living, because joy stands for journey of you. Everything you want to know, by the way, about Michelle, and there's so much to know, just go to my website, barryshore.com, BarryShore, barryshore.com. Everything you want to know about Michelle is there. barryshore.com. It's there. Click on it, go and access what this amazing being now has given and keeps giving to the world. So we're going to use that as a segue to the next piece, which follows from resiliency, I believe, and that is self-leadership. Self-leadership. Let's unpack it and begin the process. And we're going to go to a commercial break in just a few minutes, but let's begin the process of making people aware of what self-leadership is.
So many people call themselves leaders. And my thought process is if you think you can lead other people and you can't lead yourself to a good decision, you are not a leader that you think you are. And so my thought is if I can't control me, then how am I supposed to help anyone else? So self-leadership is doing the hard things to yourself. I mean, we always tell our kids, go pick up your room or, don't do this, or we're always busy. People love to tell other people what to do. Well, tell yourself what to do. And so my thought is, I want to be healthier like you every day. You went out and you were swimming, you were moving your body, getting yourself to move. I didn't want to wake up in the morning. I mean, not like that and work out, but I realized that if once my day started, I couldn't do anything else. I'd get busy with everything else. So I started time blocking my life so that the mornings are for meditation and working out and doing something that feeds my soul so I can go out and pour into other people stronger when I'm more controlled and when I have my life in line. So self-leadership, my first thing is I wake up at 5 in the morning and I go to the gym at 5:30. I've got this ritual that I do, not because it's a ritual and I can't break it, but it's because it's what makes me happy. I feed my happy pill. I give myself my own happy pills before I go out and help other people. So it's a self-leadership of self-leading my own mind. No, did I want to wake up at 5 in the morning? No, but it made me happy. So it became part of what I love to do. Did I like not eating my cheeseburger and my milkshake? No, I really like strawberry milkshakes. But what self-leadership is, yes, I love it. Okay, well, I'll do it in certain doses. For if I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this. There's a give and take in everything we do. I talk about self-leadership because we all have choices. Do you have an acronym for choices? Because we all have choices. And
We do.
you
And
get
then,
to, get to decide, what do you want? Do you want to have live a happy and healthy life? Then go make the choices. You know exactly what to do. They've been pounding it into your house, into your mind all your life. Your body tells you when you put something in your mouth, I don't really like this. Oh, I'm going to eat it all anyways. Or, for people who are smoking, I know this is bad for me, but I just can't stop. Well, you could if you wanted to, if you are willing to make the sacrifice, if you're willing to choose to make that sacrifice. There are other people who do other things and they're like, oh, I can't stop. No, that's a choice. You choose not to stop because I know through my journey with my brain, I had to eat different to feed my brain for it to rebuild itself. I had to go to therapy to teach it to relearn things. When I got the breast cancer, I had to learn how to eat to alkaline my body so my body would stop eating itself. I mean, I was feeding the cancer with all the sugars and everything I ate. There were choices that were very hard that had to be made, and they couldn't take years to decide to do them. It was a band-aid. It was yes or no. Pull the band-aid off or just keep suffering with the band-aid. I mean, pull it off. Your body's a walking healing machine if you give it what it needs to do it. So I did. Self-leadership.
Don't we love amazing Michelle? Yes. So we're going to go to, I'll tell you what, we're not going to go to commercial break now. I'm going to ask the team to put in the commercials later. We'll just take a quick pause. And everybody, please go and use the products and services that the people who sponsor the show have, because we only offer things that are wonderful for you. So we'll be right back after this brief message. There is so much more of this amazing being that will be brought to you. So just don't go away. Be right back in just a bit. Opportunity. What an opportunity. I'm going to use 2 4-letter words right now. Free gift. Free gift. Yes. You can have a copy of my best-selling book, The Joy of Living, How to Slay Stress and Be Happy, the ebook version for absolutely free. All you have to do is send an email to me, Barry, Barry, at barryshore.com, and in the heading, the subject line, just write, free gift. It's as easy as that. This is a life-changing, life-enhancing opportunity. Barry at barryshore.com. You'll be glad you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Free gift. Do it now. Take the action. Make it happen right now. Best wishes. Bye. Imagine the kind of place you would want to shop for your favorite fur baby pet. HonestPets.co. Well, you found it. HonestPets.co. Not .com, .co. This is your go-to spot for the best, the cleanest pet treats that exist anywhere on the planet. All of the brands go through a rigorous review to make sure they meet the high standards of cleanliness, health benefits, and naturalness. This site was started by a husband and wife team, and it's veteran-owned, and that care about pets, especially dogs and cats, and coming soon, bird treats. These are very nice young people who really care about making a difference, because a portion of proceeds go to support veteran organizations with a focus on service dogs. This is the place where you want to go. You want to tell your friends this has the finest, yummiest, freshest, all-natural treats and stuff for your fur baby. So go there, honestpets.co. honestpets.co. Do it now. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good in abundance. Our cup runneth over with good. And a 2-legged being, and her name is Dr. Michelle Mras, and she is just feeding us wondrous, fabulous, positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant, transformational processes. We talked about resiliency. We talked about self-leadership. When she talked about a cheeseburger and a strawberry milkshake, didn't even move me. But I can't imagine anybody eating one of that combination together. But once you recognize that whatever it is that is in your life is no longer for your benefit, but actually causes ruin, then you can shift your perspective. That's the title of my latest book. Oh, shift. And you got to be careful with the F's. I have not, out of 1 million people I've worked with over the past 4 decades, 97.2% of the people drop the F and the other stuff happens. You got to be effing careful with your F's. Oh, shift. But Michelle just showed us that that's the essence of self-leadership. When you can lead yourself, you can begin to help and pour into others. And that's the genius of life, sharing with others. As I said, she is a cog, a channel of goodness. it's even funny to mention the next two words that I'm going to talk about with you because you embody both physically, mentally, spiritually this these words that people talk about all the time. Positive attitude. Well, does that really make a difference? Can that really help somebody who is suffering because they lost their job, they may lose the house, and they're kind of can a positive attitude really make a difference for someone's life? Wonderful, Michelle.
Oh, well, absolutely. You and I would not be here if it wasn't for that. Uh, I actually won a John Maxwell Award for positive attitude. Why? Because you know, when people are looking for jobs, right? If you're looking for a job, let's say, or you're hiring someone, are you going to hire the person who's grumpy? Or are you going to hire the person who says, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing, but I will figure it out? That is a positive attitude. And so I always talk about the whole positive attitude because no matter what's going on, there's got to be some glimmer in there of goodness, of light, of something you can learn. I don't believe in failure. I believe everything is some sort of a learning lesson. And that is the positive attitude. What is in it that I'm supposed to learn? I mean, you woke up not being able to move. I got hit by a car and then couldn't talk or walk. And the thing is we could have crumbled, but instead it's what small thing can I do? What one thing can I do? That's the positive attitude. The opposite of a positive attitude would be someone who would say, "Oh well, this is my plight in life. I guess I'm just going to sit here and I'll just wait." Why would you do that? When
Right,
you have
right.
thought, you might as well at least do something to move forward. That's a positive attitude. A positive attitude can get you through pretty much anything. And if you fall opposite of that, that's where gloom and despair happens. Yes, I understand that there are people who have medical reasons of being depressed, but even in the depression, you need to learn that what that positive attitude is. Okay, I've got to do this one thing because it'll move me out, it'll shift me out of whatever I am.
Yeah, shift you.
Shift you. So
Yeah.
that's the whole thing about positive attitude is find the glimmer. No matter how hard it is, find the glimmer and you will find another glimmer and another glimmer. And next thing you know, there's going to be a light that you can follow. You make that light by the choices you make with your positive attitude.
Why do I love this woman? Because you just heard. Positive attitude, yes, makes the difference for you to be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Okay, those are words from us. But I think you just got something that people pay large amounts of money not only to discover, but to bring about. And that is one thing, one small step, one glimmer. Yes, I need to do all that. You're right. You know something? What do we do now? What can you do now that makes a difference for you? One small something. I'm going to share with you, if I may, wonderful Michelle. People ask me often, Barry, sure, have you ever had a bad day? And my simple answer is no, not since I was 12 or so. I remember something one day at 12, something, my old day. That was 60 plus years ago. But the reason is because the stuff happen, of course, in everybody's life. Everybody's life. We're human. Michelle's human. Hello, Barry Sure's human. However, that something that happened at that particular point in the day, maybe the car didn't start, this happened, etc. Well, that's for the moment. Okay, you're going to let that affect your entire day, your entire outlook for the whole day? No, which is the first two letters of now. And now, of course, no stands for noticing opportunity. That's the essence of Michelle Mras. So let's really talk about what you're doing with your speaker camp. You live in Colorado Springs, which is beautiful and such, and mountains all around. What are you doing this year? We're now the year 2023 in your speakers camp, the Unapologetic Speaker Camp, that is going to really shape and shake and shift lives.
I am helping people who have messages confine their message so that they can impact people faster. basically. So they have a message. I help them hone it on stage so they can share it in 3 seconds, or they can share it over 4 or 5 days, or they can make an entire course about it. So the Unapologetic Speaker Camp is honing your message so that you can deliver it in multiple avenues. And what I do is I have a film crew there that films them so that they can have little snippets they can use in their social media, audio clips so that they can, share that the other way. But it's basically the Unapologetic Camp is giving people the tools to go out there and share their message to impact more. It could be a message of selling widgets. It's not just for speakers. Everyone's speaking, everyone's selling something, everyone's doing something of that nature. So I bring in whatever you do, whatever you're selling, whatever you're sharing, whatever your service is, and help you hone that message so that you can impact the world the way you're meant to impact in the world.
I love this. So everybody is going to be broadcast to hundreds of thousands. I urge everybody to share this with 5 people. That way we touch over 1.5 million people. Plus, Michelle's going to put this on her television show in the Philippines, which touch millions of people. And you just gave us a new acronym for the word IF.
Mhm.
Impact faster.
Impact faster. Ooh, I like that.
That's what IF stands for. You used before but that idea that in the negative, what if? Well, yes, what if? Impact faster. You said it. That's what this is about. Those 2 words. Of all the words that have ever been penned, the saddest these are, it might have been. What if you could impact faster? Wouldn't that help you, your family, your friends, and all living beings? Yes, because business, people hear the word selling and they hear the word business, and sometimes they go like this. And really what we understand about selling and business is expanding your abilities, impacting faster. There's a great idea about the word business. As you know, Michelle, business is spelled Business. Everybody knows that. Notice, of course, that the U comes before the I. Because in business, it's all about how much I can impact others. What can I do to give? What can my service, my goods, whatever it is, the more I help the you, the more the I gets benefited. It has to be, because it's a law. It's not just, gee, that's a good idea. It's a law. It always works. It has to. It's like you said before, it's built into us resiliency. The law of attraction is just that. The law stands for love and wisdom, which is what you are about. See, when she's on stage, or she interacts with people, she's sharing with her books and every mechanism that she does, it's about love and wisdom. Am I correct?
Right on.
And that's what you do. So here we've talked about the 3 most positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant aspects of the human: resiliency, self-leadership, positive attitude. Of these, wonderful Michelle, and knowing that everybody has joy, journey of you. If you had to have a hierarchy, you want to blend all 3 together. Imagine a nice circle and the peace symbol, or in this people today's called the Mercedes-Benz symbol. I like the peace symbol better. That's where I come from. Yeah, resiliency, self-leadership, positive attitude. They all interact, interweave, and must work together. Is there one, from your perspective, that is dominant and that people, if you want to begin somewhere and acknowledge and use as a stepping stone, as a lever for moving the world, which one would it be?
Positive attitude.
Whoa! Did notice that there was a hesitation of 1/8 of a millisecond.
Yeah, if you don't have the positive attitude, nothing else will work.
So let's talk about the brain for a moment, because you had traumatic brain injury, and you said something to me that shocked me in a powerful way, which is that the hemispheres separated. They weren't connected. You didn't have a full brain. What is it that enabled the brain, the hemispheres, to rejoin?
Massive therapy. Seriously, it was massive therapy and eating. It was food and water and things that I didn't think were that important, but it was nutrition that helped my body. And then I did something called neuro neurofeedback. And so I did a lot of homeopathic things that helped. And honestly, the neurologists don't really know how I'm doing what I did. And I just know that it worked, and I'm glad it did.
Let's go deeper into nutrition. We only have a few more minutes, but you brought it up because you brought up before cheeseburger and strawberry shake, which
You're going to use that against me.
I mean, it's amazing to me. I was never into cheeseburgers ever in my life, or milkshakes I did like at some
I
point.
love milkshakes and cheeseburgers. I don't eat them, but it was what popped into my head because I drove down the street
No,
in
it was a
Kansas City
great
and saw
image. It
so
was a
many
great,
burgers. Yeah,
right.
I
It
saw
was
so
an
many
image
burger
that
places.
it says if that's not called nutrition, that's called poison. So it's recognizing that this is the key that I want to bring out for people.
Okay.
It's the recognition of understanding that what you bring into your body, internalize food wise, is very similar to what you bring into your mind from out there.
Yeah,
If
you
you're
are what you eat.
listening to stations that are negative, even if you eat very, very well, it's not going to help. There needs to be the integration of the holistic aspect of the human. What
Yes.
you listen to, what you see, what you ingest, how you digest, all of these aspects. And that I think you answered beautifully. Positive attitude begins the process of recognition. Am I
Mhm.
correct?
You are so correct. Yes. It's everything you feed. You feed everything in. I mean, people tease me. My friends tease me that I don't watch TV. I said, because I can't
Wait a
control what
minute.
comes to
Wait a
me.
minute. Do you hear this? That's a round of applause. Yes.
Well, my brain bites were so limited, and the doctors were like, "Be careful what you put in." And so I remember during my therapies, my husband put on some TV show. It was like a murder mystery, and just watching the reenactment, my brain it twitched. I felt it twitching, and then he said that I passed out. It was all the neuro, whatever was coming into me. My brain did not like it. And so when we put me in front of I think he was playing experiments on me. He put on a Disney show and I stayed awake and happy. He put on another show and that doom and gloom, I panicked and my brain started acting up. He's like, okay, so we won't put you in front of any of that again. And so through my therapies, I watched happy shows. I mean, just music, or I listened to soft music, but he played tests on me. My husband's a scientist. He would try different things and see what I did. And what we found is anything that was slightly agitating, even the music tempo, if it was too high, too much, any TV show where I saw any violence, my brain would shut off. And so what we learned from that was I may not be aware of it. You may not be aware of it. But when you watch violence, hear violence, or hear things like that, your brain is actually reacting to it. And so you have to be careful. Be careful what you eat mentally and physically.
We love wonderful Dr. Michelle Mras. Our time is coming close for the moment, but we have 3 questions for you.
Okay, 3 more
You ready?
questions. Mhm.
First question. Will you come back again?
Of course.
Oh, thank you. Number 2, you only have 80 seconds to answer this question. What is your most fervent desire?
More love and more joy in everyone. And it's a choice. We can all make that choice. Make it.
You hear that? Make it. And number 3, may I give you a hug in front of 371,829 people around the world? Let me tell you what HUG stands for. Heartfelt, unlimited giving. Heartfelt, unlimited giving. On the count of 3, if you please. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
And this is, of course, The Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore, an amazing guest, Michelle Mras. And this show is not about Michelle, as wonderful she is, or about Barry, as fabulous he is. It's about you, YOU, you becoming the best you. And that's why we use the 3 fundamentals of life. Number 1, life has purpose, and you lead a purpose-driven life. Number 2 happens. It's good. Number 2, you go mad, make a difference. Number 3 is unlock the power and the sequence of everyday words and terms, such as smile, seeing miracles in life every day. As my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life. Now, all of this will make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. And as she said, why was she doing smile, seeing miracles in everyday life? Because she was creating the kind of world she wants to live in, causing rethinking, as Michelle said, and enabling all to excel. It's that shift in perspective. You got to remember to say those F's so the other stuff happens. Shift your perspective. And as she mentioned, choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will enable you to have your destiny and the trajectory of your destiny. One small step, find a glimmer, do one thing. It will lead to another, but start with one. And use 4-letter words. Remember, love, life, hope, free, gift, play, pray, swim, food. And use the FU word. Teach the world to FU. Capital N, capital N. So after the show, when you see your family and friends, point your finger, have a twinkle in your eye, smiling face, say, FU, everybody. Say, where'd you get that? Say, and remember to add capital N right away. Say, well, I listen to Barry Shore and The Joy of Living. He wants to teach the world to FU. And how do you do that? Use the 2 most positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant words on the planet. And they are, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Use it 3 times a day, consciously and conscientiously. You will shift benefit for you, your family, your friends, and all living beings. Thanks stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. And this kind, keep inspiring noble deeds. That's Dr. Michelle Mras. And everything you want to know about her is at the website, barryshore.com, BARRYSHORE. Go to barryshore.com and everything is there. You need to be in the world of unapologetic. So, from wonderful Michelle and Barry, a blessing to everybody. Our blessing is go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Michelle, don't go away, please.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.